We're going to talk about the Doug Graham issue.
Right on the gate?
Yeah. We're going to talk about the issue with Dr. Doug Graham and this whole water fasting debacle. So, I guess...
Yeah. Have you guys all seen the videos during Riders, and then Lee's, the girl, and her mother, right? All pretty much saying the same story.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely seen it for sure. I actually made a video on it. Forget what I named it, but it was basically my follow-up video to just water fasting in general, but didn't really touch upon this topic much. But yeah, just what an unfortunate situation of what that woman went through. She paid so much money to go fast, to go, to heal herself and to get healthy, and this unfortunate event happened where she had to be rushed to the hospital, and yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, it was pitched as the retreat to go to, the fasting retreat to go to for its medical safety.
Yeah. That's the thing.
And I've met a couple people who speak almost in... It was very strange the way they spoke about it, because they were basically saying how irrefutable it is and how, it was so amazing. And I would ask them questions like, well, why do you have to spend, $12,000 or whatever it is to do this thing? And they're like, well, because it goes to good. And it was just really strange, the lack of transparency in the whole situation, and the way that it was almost cult-like, the way these few people that I talked to who've been through it sort of, talked about it. So that, coupled with, the thing with Lee, and I mean, I can imagine she's not the only case.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I mean, we don't know who signed the non-disclosure agreement to get their money back or whatever.
Yeah, Harley said that he has a few more people that he's in communication with that have, a similar sort of story. Maybe not as dire as hers. I don't know. There's no details yet, but yeah.
Well, I mean, right. not to mention that. Well, I mean, I don't have any proof of this, but from what I hear, there's also been deaths from the past of, going to these retreats, water fasting retreats, and having people die. And so I think. Yeah, so, I mean, who knows what really happened, but what I do know is there wasn't the proper medical screening there, checking people's blood, making sure, people's blood sugars didn't fall too low, or, all this stuff that would happen through long periods of famine or without food or fasting or whatever you want to call it. You got to have these things, and you got to have medical staff nearby in case something happens. That's the whole reason why Lee was rushed to the hospital, is because she needed medical attention. You need to have that in place. And in one of my videos, that's why I recommended Dr. Goldhammer's clinic. Yeah, because he has the proper medical staff there, and something does happen, you're not going to risk your life or get injured or, at worst, die or anything.
I agree. If I ever were to do it, I would do it in that kind of environment too, where you're not 5 hours away from the nearest medical facility like they were in Costa Rica. I mean, that's a horrible location for a fasting retreat. Think about it. It's a dangerous thing. You could die. You don't want to be 5 hours away by taxi.
Here's the thing that we're not talking about, which I think is the thing that we should be talking about. Even laymen like us, we're not medically trained in any way. I understand that if you've had diarrhea for several days straight,
several weeks straight,
I'm just saying for just several days straight, nonstop, not being able to keep any food down, not being able to keep any liquid down, even I, as just a normal person, would realize that I need to go get medical help. Why? Why in the world would they say, oh, you just need to let this go a little bit longer?
You're going to turn the corner.
A little bit longer. Everyone knows. I remember a couple years back that we were gonna take a camping trip, and I had diarrhea for a couple of days, and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to the doctor. So I went to the doctor, and they gave me a medicine to stop the diarrhea from happening because they didn't want me to continue to get more and more dehydrated.
Yeah.
And if you've been dehydrated for weeks, obviously you need to be on some kind of a drip. You need to get fluid. It's like everyone knows that. Why would they ignore that for how many days was it? 25 days?
It was like 2 or 3 weeks, something very incredibly long.
Well, I'm pretty sure his
face knows that. Well, how could you continue to let that situation go on? And that makes me feel it's like crazy.